ABC 10 News at 5 starts right now.
Life is about to change for the millions of Americans who are fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Today, the CDC announced it is easing mask guidance. We'll break down the new rules and what that means for San Diego County.
Plus, it has been almost 2 weeks since a cyber attack targeted Scripps Health. We're going to take an in-depth look at who is responsible for making sure patient information remains protected. And
nobody's really safe in Palestine right now, in the occupied West Bank or in East Jerusalem or in the Gaza Strip.
Israel now launching a ground attack in Gaza as the conflict there escalates. Hear from San Diegans describe the fear and violence their loved ones are witnessing unfold in the Middle East.
ABC 10 News at 5 starts now.
If you are fully vaccinated, you can start doing the things that you had stopped doing because of the pandemic.
A groundbreaking moment in the nation's battle against the coronavirus pandemic. The CDC is now changing its guidance and dropping mask mandates for people who are fully vaccinated. Good evening, I'm Lindsay Pena.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. The CDC is citing several factors for its decision, including a drop in cases, a better understanding of how the virus is spread, and the performance of the vaccines. But there are some limitations. The new guidance still calls for wearing masks in crowded indoor settings like buses, planes, hospitals, prisons, and homeless shelters. And the CDC guidelines do not supersede the local mask wearing restrictions still in place. Our ABC 10 News reporter John Horn spoke to a local infectious disease specialist who says the threat of COVID is not over.
Dr. Christian Ramers says he's continuing to see patients with the coronavirus.
COVID hasn't changed. In fact, if anything, it's gotten worse with the new variants that are coming in that are more infectious and potentially more deadly.
Ramers, an infectious disease specialist with Family Health Centers of San Diego, says those patients have either refused the vaccine or have not yet been vaccinated. In the county, however, nearly 1.3 million people have been fully vaccinated. For them, a step toward normalcy came Thursday when the CDC said those now inoculated can do things like dine indoors, catch a movie, get a haircut, and go to a capacity worship service without a mask.
The CDC is saying they have concluded that fully vaccinated people are at a very, very low risk of getting COVID-19.
Masks are still required in places like healthcare settings and mass travel. Ramers says the CDC made the move now that there is no longer a threat of COVID overwhelming the nation's healthcare system.
But I think what this signals for us is a major shift from where we were last year to where we are this year. And the number one factor in that is the effectiveness of the vaccines at protecting us.
The CDC guidelines do not supersede local restrictions, meaning current mask mandates are still in place. John Horn, ABC 10 News.
Governor Gavin Newsom has set a June 15th date to lift the state's mask requirements. We have reached out to the state to see if the new CDC guidelines will impact that date.
As the pandemic slowly eases up, San Diego's economy is showing signs of a rebound, but new data reveals there are a lot of empty storefronts. ABC 10 News anchor Derek Stahl is going in depth on the health of San Diego's retail sector.
As some businesses pick back up, we're seeing signs of the pandemic's impact. The amount of empty retail space around San Diego is at a 7-year high. New data from the commercial real estate firm CBRE shows San Diego's retail vacancy rate rose to 6.3% in the first quarter. That's a full percent higher than this time last year and nearly 2 points higher than 2019.
If you date back to coming out of the Great Recession, we had higher vacancy rates than we have right now. So this is not unprecedented.
Retail specialist Michael Peterson says there are plenty of reasons for optimism.
With all the fiscal stimulus that's been pumped in, this isn't, like the 2008 recession where the consumer came out completely drained. You have unemployment insurance, you've got direct stimulus checks that are coming in. So consumers have money to go out and spend.
And with lots of pent-up demand, he says there are businesses filling these empty spaces at a decent clip, but they have noticed some differences in the kinds of businesses opening, particularly at shopping centers.
You've seen the pet services industry grow 9% during COVID. People are at home. They want to have a pet. They want to have a dog. They have time for it. So, now we're starting to see the big box pet services see an increase in sales. And what comes right behind that is the service industry, the veterinarian.
He says they've seen a number of service-oriented businesses set up shop, including ones focused on health.
So you're starting to see doctors and urgent care, outpatient stuff, as far as even down to Botox, medical spas, starting to fill this vacant space.
Across the country, CBRE says retail sales are up 28% compared to March of last year and well above any point in 2019. And that's with occupancy still capped at restaurants and gyms.
I think retail is in a good spot going forward, especially in San Diego.
And that's why he doesn't expect these for lease signs to stay up for long. Derek Stahl, ABC 10 News.
Right now, the highest vacancy rate locally is in downtown San Diego. To see how retail is doing in your part of the county, go to 10news.com. And jobless claims in the U.S. have dropped to a new low during the pandemic. According to the Labor Department, the number of Americans filing for first-time unemployment benefits fell to 473,000 last week. This is the first time during the pandemic that number has dropped below 500,000. However, there are a record 8.1 million job openings in the U.S., and companies are ramping up benefits, perks, and pay to lure people back to work. The president of the American Federation of Teachers is calling for a full return to in-person learning in the fall and says the union is all in. Randy Weingarten says the availability of vaccines and an infusion of federal education money have removed many obstacles that prevented schools from reopening. More than half of K-8 schools in the country are already open for in-person learning. This comes as other teacher unions are threatening to strike if members are forced back into classrooms. And you can keep up with any developments surrounding the pandemic by downloading our free mobile app. Just go to the App Store and search 10 News.
The country's biggest oil pipeline is coming back online after a massive cyber attack. Many gas stations across the southeast, they were completely sold out, leaving a lot of people stuck trying to get to work. The company that runs the pipeline, Colonial, says it will take several days before they're back to full capacity. President Biden is asking people in the southeast not to buy more than they need, saying that panic buying will only make the problem worse.
But I want to be clear, we'll not feel the effects at the pump immediately. This is not like flicking on a light switch.
The FBI says a Russian criminal organization is behind this attack. President Biden signed an executive order today that he says will help prevent similar attacks in the future. And tomorrow will mark 2 weeks since Scripps Health was first targeted in the debilitating cyber attack. Tonight, ABC 10 News investigative reporter Jennifer Kastner is going in depth looking at who is responsible for making sure that hospitals have secure networks to protect your privacy.
A widespread network outage still upending operations Thursday as Scripps Health continues investigating the source of the attack. Mounting questions about security regulations Thursday as one of San Diego's biggest hospital networks continues battling a crippling malware attack that started nearly 2 weeks ago. Mark Haskelson is the CEO of Compliancy Group, which helps healthcare companies prove that they made a good faith effort to satisfy federal law over patient privacy, commonly known as HIPAA.
What has changed so rapidly in the risks under cybersecurity, unfortunately, HIPAA as a law really is not up to speed with them.
HIPAA is administered under the Department of Health and Human Services enforcement arm known as the Office of Civil Rights, which can audit hospitals. Haskelson says that HIPAA only gives guidelines, so it's up to each hospital to self-manage or bring in third-party cybersecurity experts. But he adds that having adequate technology is only part of the challenge. The human element is just as important.
So if you take, let's say, regulatory compliance of HIPAA, it's the audits. You then have to identify your gaps. You then have to have, a true plan to remediate those issues. Now, what we find is that about 80% of the remediation really comes down to good policies, procedures, and training of your staff so that your staff knows not to make these mistakes. About 20% of it is really the technology that's being deployed.
Scripps has said that some patient care locations, such as emergency rooms, remain open. The hospital reports that a team is working nonstop to get the system back online. The hospital still hasn't said whether patient records were stolen or who may be responsible for this attack. A spokesperson wrote Thursday that there is nothing new to report. Jennifer Kastner, ABC 10 News.
New data released on the U.S.-Mexico border is receiving mixed reactions on Capitol Hill. More than 178,000 migrants were caught last month trying to cross the border. That's a slight increase over the previous record set back in March. Republicans claim the latest numbers are a result of weak Biden administration policies. Today, though, the Homeland Security Secretary pushed back while speaking at an immigration hearing.
We are addressing the root causes of migration from the Northern Triangle countries, addressing the reasons why families send their children in the first place.
Mayorkas also touted the decrease in migrant children sitting in Border Patrol custody right now. In March, there were nearly 6,000 children. Now there are 536.
Clashes on the streets today as violence escalates between Israelis and Palestinians. Israeli troops are launching the biggest bombardment in years, targeting Hamas groups that they say have fired more than 1,000 rockets into Israel from Palestinian territories. Dozens of people have been killed. Crowds are gathering in mixed neighborhoods, erupting into battles on the streets. The latest tensions started escalating a month ago when Israelis blocked some Palestinian gatherings at the beginning of Ramadan. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke out, condemning mob violence on either side. President Biden is sending an envoy to the region. And many San Diegans have ties to people on both sides of the conflict between Israel and Palestine. We spoke with a young man and a mother, fearful for either their family or themselves, and each wanting peace.
A fight over.
Anat Edri spoke to ABC 10 News via Zoom from her home in Israel, describing what it's been like for her and her 3-year-old daughter.
I live 20 minutes north of Tel Aviv, so rockets have landed in Tel Aviv. People were injured all over the place. There have been murders. One of our soldiers, I think 2 already have, been murdered.
Edri, who's Jewish, grew up in Southern California, but moved to Israel 8 years ago. She says she feels lucky to have a bomb shelter in her apartment when the sirens go off.
It's like the most devastating sound because you know that means you have to run to the bomb shelter.
Meanwhile, Akram Ilian, a young Palestinian man who grew up in San Diego and still lives here, says his family and friends in the region are fearful as well.
Nobody's really safe in Palestine right now, in the occupied West Bank or in East Jerusalem or in the Gaza Strip.
Ilian says he's been in constant contact with loved ones who tell him daily life is scary and uncertain.
Whether you're going to work or whether you're going just to the grocery store, there's always a chance that you're going to be, you're not going to make it home.
Being thousands of miles away, he says there's a feeling of helplessness.
It's not the first time it's happened, and there's not much you can do except speak up, try to attend peaceful protests, peacefully speak up, and do, obviously everything we can.
And for those like Edri living through it, there is a desire to shine a light on the reality.
People here are suffering. This is terror. Like, we need help. We need people to understand what's going on. We need support.
Several events related to the conflict are being held in San Diego this week, including one at the Jewish Community Center tonight and a rally for Palestine on Saturday. And to learn more about the history of the Israel-Palestinian conflict, you can go to our website, 10news.com, and click on the story on our homepage.